Good morning, hello, and good morning, world. And happy Saturday to each of you. And welcome back to yet another fun-filled episode here with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. As we embark upon what will be another great episode this morning. We thank you all for chopping it up with us, and we thank you in advance for a time that will be had. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left something, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place in that morning or in that evening, whenever the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so we thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we converse about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via our two Facebook pages, the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast community page, as well as additionally on our Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast Facebook page. You can additionally find us on Instagram at EMSTP underscore, again on IG at EMSTP underscore. YouTube as the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and Ian Jones, as well as our guests for that weekend. So today is actually March 22nd, 2025, and we have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world. Well, we saw the NCAA tournament take place. We saw the first four games take place, as well as the round of 64, and now we are down to a round of 32 very, very quickly. We saw some huge upsets take place. Some teams last year, fellas, that was in the Elite Eight, that was knocking on the door for a national championship, getting upset. And so this is the NCAA tournament. This happens. The small schools, they get their opportunities. And so we are in the midst of March Madness. Additionally, we will see NBA take place. The NBA playoffs is heating up. Seeds are being impacted. Right now, there's a lot on the line for a lot of teams. And so the NBA is in the midst of its season. We additionally saw this week the unrivaled championship take place. And congrats to the Roses or the Rose. And this is Angel Reese team from the Chicago Sky, as well as Chelsea Gray, a few other ones, Zura Stevens, Tiffany Hayes. And so congrats to this team. They are the first unrivaled inaugural season champion. And so congrats to that team. And then additionally, we will see the MLB preseason kickoff. And Jamar was very excited this week because we got a chance to talk about the Chicago White Sox expectations. And so it didn't seem like there was too much of an expectation, but at least we got the Chicago Cubs. And according to Kevin, guys, the Chicago Cubs, the fans have high expectations. And so since I don't know much about baseball, I listen to Kevin. And so I know he's a huge baseball fan. And so if he says the Chicago Cubs got huge expectations and that they should be somewhere around the playoff or somewhere around the division champion, then I'm going to expect that, or at least hope that. But will it happen, fellas? We'll see. And so with that being said, introducing our brother from another mother, and my partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Mr. Jamar Goodman, good morning, sir. Happy Saturday. How are you?
Good. Boiler up today. Boiler up.
Yes. Purdue made me state today. Yes, absolutely. Yes, and additionally, introducing our partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and the other brother from another mother, Mr. Ian Jones, a.k.a. Rod Tillwell, a.k.a. People Hernandez. Mr. Ian Jones, my bro, what it do?
What's up, man? How we feeling this morning, fellas?
Pretty
March
good,
Madness.
bro. Yes. And bro, I want to ask you, is there any additional names you want to add? Like we got Mr. Ian Jones, Mr. Rod Tidwell, People Hernandez. Is there any additional?
We can keep those too. We can keep those too.
All right. And so with that being said, fellas, we got a lot to talk about. Let us begin by talking the NCAA tournament. And so Jamar, I don't know about you, but I don't know about you as well, Ian. But I picked McNeese State to upset Clemson in one of my two brackets. And the reason being is because a lot of these schools, these are the best from their leagues, if that makes sense, y'all. A lot of these teams are 20 plus 5, 30 win teams coming into these conference tournaments. And so it doesn't surprise me why we have a Drake knocking off whoever. I think it was I forgot who they knocked off, but they knocked off a big school, and then McNeese State. And so want to talk about this round of 32. And so we made our picks, fellas, but at the same time, there's a reality in picks right now. The games that actually was won, etc. And so, Jamar, we're gonna chop it up with you. And once that happened, then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make my tags. But Purdue, they got McNeese State, St. John's, Arkansas, Texas A&M and Michigan, Texas Tech and Drake. And so that's one bracket for sure. And then Auburn, Creighton, Wisconsin, BYU. So out of these games, actually, bro, I know we got our brackets that we picked, but we know damn well ain't none of our brackets perfect. There's never been a perfect bracket in NCAA tournament history. And so based off of the actual games, out of these 16 teams, Jamar, who you think is moving on, bro?
Well, for starters, I did join you. I did pick McNeese State in both my brackets. I was not a big fan of Clemson whatsoever. But with that being said, hey, I'm wearing a shirt. I gotta go with them. But I don't think it's gonna be an easy game whatsoever.
You don't have the warm and fuzzies.
I don't.
Right.
I don't have my warm and fuzzies. But what I can say about Purdue, like their 2-man game, that pick and roll action between the guard and that forward, I forgot his last name, but he averaged like 20 points a game. Like, dude, they look silky smooth out there. I just know the guard play looks really, really good for Purdue. So I'm hoping that continues. And their 3-point shooting is actually pretty good too. So
and that's always important in the NCAA tournament.
It is. So, like I think I mentioned on Tuesday, like you gotta have guard play. Big mans are a must. You know, seniority teams, but also 3-point shooting. It's like all those factor in big time. If you can hit threes, I mean, matter of fact, look at North Carolina in the first 4 game, they were just lights out behind the arc. And you know, yesterday they got the doors blown off, even though they made a late comeback. Right. But still, it was too little, too late. Like when you get down 22 at one point, it's like, what do you do? Anyway. I'm not gonna lie. The St. John's Arkansas game, I did predict that matchup in both my brackets. This one was tough for me to pick. My bracket says St. John, but I really don't have the warm and fuzzies about that pick at all, because I know how much of a ceiling that Arkansas got. We briefly talked about it on Tuesday. I mean on Monday. Right. On Monday, sorry. So. I'm gonna go St. John on that one. A&M, Michigan. I got Michigan on that one. Texas Tech and Drake. I mean, Drake looked pretty good. Drake looked pretty good. You know what? I'm gonna
Texas. Nothing, bro. It sounds like you're going with Drake.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Drake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Drake. So Auburn, Creighton. I did pick Louisville to beat Creighton, and Creighton didn't care anything about that home court advantage at all. Creighton came out and you know, just worked them. I'm like, sheesh. Creighton is
Creighton is dangerous because in my bracket I picked Creighton. I know we was talking about Louisville and saying that, hey, if Louisville beat Creighton, then Auburn got a road game. And that's messed up for them being the number 1 overall seed, having a road game. But Creighton took care of them. And so, like you say, that's the bed now.
It is. And, I mean, I know Auburn's supposed to win, but, man, man. I don't know the way that Creighton looked.
Right.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Auburn. Once again, don't have the warm and fuzzies at all. I ain't got the warm and fuzzies at all this morning.
Right, but Jamar, it's the NCAA tournament, bro. Do you have the warm and fuzzies for any game?
When Duke plays,
That's the only team, huh?
in Florida, those the main ones. So I'm gonna go Auburn, Wisconsin, BYU. You know what? I'm gonna stick up for the Big Ten. The Big Ten is 8-0 in the first round. I'm just letting y'all know. Big Ten came to play. I'm gonna go Wisconsin. Houston Gonzaga is good as as consistent as the Zags has been to making the tournament each and every year for like the last 2 decades. It feels like. Give me Houston, Tennessee, UCLA. Give me Tennessee.
Yeah, I like your picks, bro. And bro, what about you?
All right, so let me just go off one of my brackets. I guess I go off my top bracket. So, the Auburn and Creighton game. I did pick Auburn, so I'm gonna stick to the bracket. I did pick Auburn to get this far. I didn't pick Creighton to win though. I picked.
You picked Creighton to upset Auburn.
No. I'm saying I didn't pick them to get to the second round.
Okay.
So this one, I had this one completely wrong. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M, but versus Michigan. I know my homeboy T. Brew probably gonna kill me, but because he love Michigan, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M. Iowa State versus Ole Miss. I'm gonna go Iowa State, but I'm not sure though. And shout out to North Carolina losing. I know that West Virginia team is pissed. I know they pissed. But I guess, in the words of Rasheed Wallace, I guess what do you say? Ball don't lie. They
Right.
shouldn't have been. They should have been in the tournament anyway. New Mexico State versus Michigan State. I'm gonna go Michigan State. I'm gonna go Florida versus UConn. I'm gonna go Florida. I got this one wrong. I had Memphis, but I said they lost. So I'm gonna pick Maryland. This one, uh, I took Texas Tech over Drake. So this next one is a tough one for me. Arkansas versus St. John's. So I think in one of my brackets I got Arkansas going kind of far, but not in this one. So I'm gonna take St. John's, but I think Arkansas is gonna. I don't know, man.
I know.
I feel like that's gonna be a good game, and I don't know. Coach Cal might surprise us, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up like in the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16. But I'm gonna go with St. John's. I got Duke over Baylor. Um, this one was a tough one too, but I got Oregon over Arizona. I'm gonna stick.
That's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
That's normal Pac-10.
Pac-12.
Yep.
I know it's the Big Ten now, y'all. It's the Big Ten now,
Yeah.
but that's formerly Pac-12 stuff.
I'm gonna stick with the Big Ten on this one too. Wisconsin versus BYU, so I'm gonna take Wisconsin. This might be a sneaky upset right here. St. Mary's versus Alabama. Alabama got to stay on their P's and Q's, but I'm gonna pick Alabama.
Bama almost took that L yesterday.
Yeah,
They sure did.
yeah,
U of I took care of business, man. I was happy for them.
Houston versus Gonzaga. Man, Gonzaga always let me down, bro. So I'm gonna go with Houston.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Purdue. I'm gonna go with Purdue because I didn't pick Mississippi State to get to upset Clemson. So I'm gonna go with Purdue. I'm not going with Illinois against Kentucky.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Kentucky. And the final game I got, I'm gonna go with Tennessee over UCLA. That's a trap game though. UCLA can probably knock them off.
Absolutely. Yep. Sure can. Especially when they ain't played each other, they don't know each other like that.
Yeah,
It's a very, very dangerous game. And so,
two prominent programs.
yeah. And so for me, y'all, I'm looking at the bracket. Yeah. McNeese State, man, they're gonna put up a fight against Purdue, but I got Purdue, St. John's, Michigan, Drake actually over Texas Tech, Auburn, Wisconsin, Houston, UCLA. I think I picked UCLA in my bracket. I had Tennessee and UCLA. I picked UCLA. Um, Florida, they put an end to the UConn three-peat. Duke, I picked them. Between Kentucky and Illinois, who did I pick? I think I picked U of I because U of I was not healthy during the season, and they done got their health back. Alabama, Maryland, they're a very good team. Iowa
Mhm.
State's a very talented team, very talented, very high ceiling. It just all depends with Iowa State, but a lot of these teams were in the Maui Invitational.
Yeah,
Michigan State was in the Maui, and then Arizona, they got one of the top players in the country. Should be a first round draft pick. So Caleb Love, hopefully he don't let me down this year because he did last year. I had them going to the Final Four last year. And
yeah.
so,
I had them go to the
uh,
Final Four last year too.
right, they were really good last year and then stink to join up in the tournament. And so, um, we'll see. But yeah, these are my teams. This is the actual bracket. And so we'll see what happens with the March Madness. It is March Madness. Um, and this is just how it goes. And so with that, fellas, I want to ask y'all one quick question. Um, do you guys think that with Duke, so they are very talented. Cooper Flag came back yesterday. Um, can you guys see Duke cruising through their bracket until they run up into maybe the Elite Eight? Can you guys see Duke maybe? Because I don't. I mean, Duke seems to be kind of heads and shoulders outside of Florida. They're the only team I see right now, Jamar. And Alabama, a lot of these SEC teams are great. And I'm gonna just say outside of the SEC teams because I need to stop discounting Auburn and Alabama. I really do, because they are fantastic. We no problem, actually. But you look at Florida and you look at Duke. I still see these like being the creme de la creme. I don't know about you guys, fellas. I know it's the NCAA tournament, but when you guys look at Duke's bracket, do you think that there's any opposition prior to the Elite Eight? So today, next weekend, next Thursday, if they were to beat Baylor, etc. Do you guys see any opposition for Duke? What about you, Jamar?
Nope. Nope. None whatsoever. Not until that point. Cause Duke is just that good, in my opinion. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
the ACC as a whole is just trash, but and we all know North Carolina should have been in. I mean, they're down to just one team left in the tournament, and it's arguably the best team in the country. I mean, Duke is, to my opinion, like Duke should smack Baylor, and then the winner of Oregon, Arizona, they should smack them too. That's just my opinion because I know, like besides Cooper Flag, the rest of the team is still just as good. He just adds an extra element to the game to where it's like, what do you do? It's more so
That's
Duke loses as opposed to the other team beating them. That's what it feels like.
right. And so I don't think a lot of people know Jamar, but they got about 2 to 3 first round picks on that Duke starting lineup.
Yes, number
Yeah,
one recruiting class entering this season. And I was on the bandwagon since then. I'm like, oh, you got him and him plus it. I'm like, okay, you got my attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, what about you, Ann? Do you think, because I mean, it's the NCAA tournament, anything can happen. Do you think that anything can happen with Duke prior to the Elite Eight?
I mean, yeah, of course, anything happen. They can come out flat one game, and somebody can catch fire. But I mean, they should cruise, to the Elite Eight. But we've seen some crazy things happen in the tournament. So,
Right.
but I
Right.
mean, I expect them to, cruise basically to the Elite Eight.
Right. And another last question, expert fellas. Michigan State. If Michigan State were to lose today, guys, or if they were to lose in a Sweet 16, would you, as a program, start looking at potential other coaches, or would you still continue to ride it out with Tom Izzo? Because he hasn't won a national championship since what was it, Khalid El-Amin, fellas? Not Khalid El-Amin, but he played for Connecticut. But he had went to the national championship that year when they played. It was UConn and Michigan State. But I know UConn of Michigan State eventually won the national championship. I can't remember y'all who was on that team. Y'all was it Mateen Cleaves? Mateen Cleaves? Y'all remember Mateen
No,
Cleaves?
but I think he won after that though. I think one more time.
Right. He won only one national championship, bro. And I think on that team had to be Mateen Cleaves. Remember that left-hander?
Yeah,
Y'all
I
remember
remember
him?
Mateen Cleveland,
Right.
Mo Peterson.
Mo Peterson, yeah. That team. That was the team. The left-hander was Mo Peterson, and Mateen Cleaves was the point guard. That was the team that brought that natty back to Michigan State, but that's been a while ago, fellas. Those guys are long retired from their NBA careers.
Yeah, we was kids. That was almost 30 years ago.
Right, we was shorties. We was kids, absolutely playing football on the concrete, like on the street. Like we was kids for sure.
Literally, yeah.
Literally, for sure. Absolutely. I think I was in 4th, 5th grade, something. I don't know, something like that. And so, and really though, like I know a lot of programs like to stick with coaches and keep them around for years and years and years, but Michigan State haven't won a natty in a long time. Would you seriously consider, if they were to lose this round or the next round, start looking at potential younger coaches to run that program?
I mean, eventually it's gonna happen, but I think maybe I guess if they have a quick exit, I guess you should start looking. We've seen the same thing with Coach K, but he had a couple natties as of recently.
Right.
But I mean, at that time he's getting older. He's still a great coach. Not taking nothing away from him. I know they've been to the Final Four, but they just haven't won. Well, they haven't won, like you say. The last championship was literally 25 years ago. In 2000, that was the last time they won. So that was his 5th season. So man, he's been at 30 years.
Right, he's been at 30 years, bro.
30 years. Yeah.
He's been at 30 years, literally.
Yeah, I would think it's time, especially if it's a quick exit, like they lose in this next round. I mean, even if they win, or even if no matter what happens in the tournament, I think it's time you got to start getting somebody to take over the reins.
Or at
I don't
least
know if
start
he's.
preparing
I don't.
somebody.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if he's giving them a specific year or day. He's a legendary coach. I don't know if he's giving them a specific year or time that he's going to step down, but he getting up there, and the time is ticking.
For sure. Absolutely. And that's why the question was asked, bro, because indeed the time is ticking, and a lot of the game, it comes from, these younger coaches now that tend to relate more to the players. And so it's going to be really interesting, bro. It's going to be heavily interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. And so
Yeah, that was
good.
the Mo Peterson team with Team Cleves, Charlie Bell, Jason Richardson was a freshman. That was a long 25 years ago.
Jason Richardson was a freshman. Yeah. Yep. And so I'm not sure what's in the background. Is that you, Jamar? Or you in listening to is that Days of Our Lives soap opera?
Nah, my son got the TV on.
Okay. Yes, just checking. And so All right, so cool. Jamar, bro. Anything else from the NCAA tournament, bro? Any other questions? Y'all got any questions? Y'all can ask me questions too.
Uh, I will say this. Do you guys think St. John's got a real shot at going to the Final Four?
Hmm. For me, St. John's real shot to the Final Four. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
yeah, the reason being is because number one, a head coach. We know Rick Pitino is a legendary head coach.
Hmm.
And I don't think they would be the 2 seed, bro, if they were not a good team. They are a 2 seed for a reason. And the reason why they are a 2 seed is because they've been taking care of business against a lot of competitive teams. This has been a very competitive NCAA basketball season, guys. It's a lot of good teams. There's not really much of a huge gap outside of maybe Florida, and maybe you can argue Duke. But outside of that, everybody else is kind of in that same boat. But St. John's has held their ground for the most part. And so it's great. And then lastly, I will put this out here, Ian. Who would not want to
Hmm.
see Rick Pitino, St. John's out of New York, right outside of New York City? Who would not want to see them in the Final Four? Do you know how many eyes, how good that
Yeah.
is for college basketball? Like, that's like a blue blood program. Like, a lot of history, bro, back in the 80s and 90s with NBA talent. You know, a lot of great NBA legends come from St. John's. Like, it'd be really nice to see them make it to the Final Four. It'd be nice for college basketball. It'd be one of those good things like the Lakers good for basketball. When they good, the NBA is good. It'll be like one of
Yep.
those type of things, bro, in my opinion. So I think it's possible, very well possible. They got a really good team. I don't know a lot of the guys' names. I just know they've been winning. I know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Jamar,
Corey
bro.
Corey Corey Lockwood said you ride out Izzo
Yo,
until he leaves. His teams usually overachieve. He's been upset a few times, but he gets the kids to play hard. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Jamar, bro, do you think St. John's got a chance to make the Final Four?
hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, morning, bro. Yeah, I'm seeing these comments as well now. Perfect.
okay.
So,
Yeah, morning fellas
okay.
to the Offbeat Studios down there in Florida. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah. Morning, offbeat. Morning, fellas. And so, offbeat, bro, you on here with us? How you feeling about Florida, man? Are you a Florida Gators fan? Being that you're down there in Florida, do you think they got a real good chance at the Natty? Keep us posted. We know you're down there in Florida rocking things out. And Corey, he got
Okay.
St. John the Duke and the Natty.
Mm,
Whew.
I didn't pick that in my bracket. I don't think a lot of people got that in their bracket, but that's interesting.
that'd be a dope national championship. I'm not gonna
Then
lie.
wouldn't that be a dope national championship?
Yeah.
St. John the Duke. That'd be really good for college basketball. Because it's always good when Duke good for college basketball. Whenever they one of the premier programs. And so, yeah, off we stated Florida got a real good shot. They do.
Yep.
They definitely do. They they tough. Man, how about that SEC? Tough conference.
Yep.
Lot of good teams in that conference. 14 teams. 14. And y'all, just to instigate a little bit, I want to see something, Jamar. And how many teams left still? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So 8 teams are left, right? And so help me out with this, fellas. But Arkansas, Texas A&M, Texas is Texas Tech Big 12 or SEC now? I don't know,
No,
but I know
they
Arkansas.
Big 12.
They Big 12. Okay, Arkansas, because I know it was a lot of teams that changed, you know what I'm saying, recently. Arkansas, Texas A&M, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky. No, that's 7 now with Alabama. 7 is with Alabama. And so, and Ole Miss. That's 8 teams. Yeah, that's 8 teams. And so that's a lot of damn teams for one conference. And so when I picked my bracket, Corey, I stated that it gotta be one of these teams. I feel like that should be in the Final Four at least with all them teams, but we'll see. It's an NCAA tournament. And so we'll see how things turn out with this. But fellas, in that case, let us progress. We've talked about the NCAA tournament, but let us now talk about the NBA. And so, fellas, right now, the Dallas Mavericks, guys, they've been going through a lot of injuries. And it's a lot of questions out there happening. And, bro, I'm going to follow up with you. Do you think that this Luka Doncic trades that occurred, do you think that this could be one of the worst trades in NBA history, especially if Anthony Davis don't get his ass on the court?
I don't want to say worst trades in NBA history, but it's just I guess it's a trying time right now, man. We just got a little bad luck. It's crazy, they got all those players injured, and um, they were on the verge of having to forfeit some games, man, because of salary
That's
cap
crazy to believe.
issues and not enough players, and which is crazy, bro. Like they
That's
whole
crazy.
team, like 60% of the team is injured, bro. That's insane. Just a little bad luck, I guess. That's what you want to call it. You got bad luck. That's what you got. I mean, I don't know any other way to describe it, man. Because that's crazy, bro. For real. Like
That is the thing.
I've never heard of no NBA team or no sports team having to really forfeit a game because
Never heard of that.
so many people injured, and that's just insane, man. So I wouldn't say worst
Man,
trade in NBA history, but man, I don't know. The
it's up
basketball guys,
there.
yeah, I mean the basketball guys is not they're not messing with Dallas right now at all.
Man, man. Offbeat Studio said gave us Luca for a bag of chips. Brian wanted AD. So it
A
sounds
big
like
one there,
Offbeat
yeah.
is a Lakers fan. Sound like he's a
Uh-huh.
Lakers fan over there. And so Luca, on the other hand, man, he down there busting ass, ain't he? But
Yep.
Jamar, bro, what's your thoughts with the Mavericks, man? Like on that basketball perspective. If the at this point we can't even consider them a serious playoff threat because Kyrie, is he out for the season?
Yeah, he done.
Damn. Out for the
Yes.
season, Kyrie. Now who shooting all their shots? I'm sure if you bet now, for all the bettors out there that's listening to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, you gotta bet Klay Thompson go shoot a certain amount of threes. Because who else they gonna get a ball to? Him and PJ Tucker. That's it.
Yes,
Derek Lively's out, man.
Gafford's
Who else
out.
is Gafford's out?
Gafford's out.
AD's out. Kyrie's out.
Dante Exum's
Um,
out.
Dante Exum's out. And then even last night, Tim Hardaway Jr., who used to play with the Mavericks, he stepped on the court and he bust his shit. Excuse my French. Now he injured. The man ain't been in Dallas for 6 months, y'all. Ain't been there 6 months. Come back to Dallas, step on the court, bust his shit in. Now he out for the season. I don't know what's happening in Dallas.
Basketball guys, man, they're doing. I
Karma
don't
at
know.
its finest.
Somebody put the voodoo on them or some shit.
Dude, that
I
probably
don't
lets you
even
know they shouldn't even make that
believe in
deal
shit
to
like
begin
that.
with. That probably lets you know they should have never made this trade to begin with.
Hey man,
Yeah.
the GM, he looked like a gambling person. Like he was at the end. Remember when he was at the podium? He was like, "We had this plan for a while. Like I was ready to take this risk. He was clearly letting everybody know that he was ready to take a big risk with Luka. And he was confident about it too. He gambled. He definitely gambled. And so, man, Dallas, they ain't going to the playoffs. And AD gonna be he gonna be older now. If AD don't get healthy, Jamar, where do Dallas go from here? Where?
Purgatory. Purgatory. They ain't gonna be sorry enough to get a number 1 pick, and they ain't gonna be good enough to make a playoff run if he's not healthy. That's just what it is. I can definitely see if this trajectory of this outcome goes continuous, like it's showing right now, then yeah, it will be one of the worst trades, if not the worst trade. In my opinion, the worst trade of all time is the Pau Gasol to the Lakers trade. Like, what was Memphis thinking? You give up Kwame Brown. The Lakers gave up Kwame Brown, Javaris Crittenton, and two draft picks for Pau Gasol. That was in the prime of his career. Like that's what we doing. So, and granted, one of them turned out to be Marc Gasol, but still, don't matter. Like, you just basically handed the Lakers two back-to-back championships on that. And so it feels like you
almost 3.
Yeah, almost 3. Boston
they went to the finals 3 times. Went to the finals 3 times. That's true. And so, yeah, go ahead, Jamar. Finish, bro.
Yeah. So, like, look, we like Anthony Davis. We all know his nickname is Street Clothes. I mean, Dallas knew that before they making the trade, so there's no surprise there. I mean, the man went all out in the first 2.5 to 3 quarters of a game and ain't played since in his debut with the Mavericks.
Man, he was killing too. That was the sad part. And then, but what really hurt me, y'all, was this week me looking at the headlines and finding out he had to go to the G League, and that hurt my heart because he's so talented, and they had to send a man to the G League, y'all.
So let me ask you guys this: do you guys think before he left the Lakers, he's actually like pretty healthy within these last like 2 years? Like, probably the most we've seen him healthy in his career on a consistent basis.
But better.
Do you guys think that he was healthy right before he left the Lakers? Maybe he wasn't healthy and he just happened to. He was probably excited going to Dallas and kind of did too much.
Yeah, that's the only way. Because when he was with the Lakers, he was playing. He was playing. Like, think about it, y'all. He was playing all last season, playing most of this season, and all of a sudden he go to Dallas and boom. It's just such an oxymoron, Such a oxymoron.
So you think this was something? I mean, so you think this was something that was kind of prior to the trade?
No.
I think it's something in Dallas.
Maybe he was just playing hurt in LA, like his last couple weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Probably so. And then they realized that, and that's probably why they helped. It was like, yeah, let's get rid of him. Because number one, you see Luka, but then number two, you know about his history. And he probably was playing hurt, and maybe somebody around that organization knew. Maybe the ownership even knew and that's probably part of the reason why they were so quick to ship him off. And it just so happened that it all came out to the surface when he went to Dallas. It all just hit all the stuff. What did they say? All the stuff hit the fan. It all just hit the surface. Like, they probably knew that he was hurt. He probably, it was a number of things. We also heard him talk about LeBron and say what he said about him and MJ. All that just happened, all surfaced at the right time. All like a big bowl of mixture, everything. And so it's just, you're right, though. It don't just happen overnight to where somebody just go to a whole new city, Jamar, and they get injured just randomly. It had to been something prior to that in order for that to have happened. It can't just be so random, And part of me believes that he probably was playing hurt. I could see that, and he just wasn't saying anything. And once he got to Dallas, etc. But to be honest with you, Annie Jamar, I don't think he's that hurt right now. I don't think he's that hurt. The Mavericks just wanted him to be healthy for the playoffs because they thought it's better to keep him out, let him rest, get his health back up, and then when Kyrie and everybody, the whole crew is ready, then when the playoffs come, we'll be good and he'll be healthy for the real run. You see my point, bro? He'll be ready for the real run, which is the playoff run. You need AD in the playoffs. And so that's what they were assuming. But then after that, Gafford got injured. Kyrie got injured. Lively got injured. Damn near everybody got injured. And so I think they were preserving AD for sure. They were trying to preserve him for the important part of the season. The playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it.
I mean, my thoughts are, I mean, could he been playing hurt and then that happened? Sure, but I mean, knowing him with an injury history, like, how come that couldn't happen? Just because of who he is, because of the nature of his body. Like, he went out there and proved the point. He was trying to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have no lax days ago 20-10 game. I mean, he basically had 20-10 in the first half.
Yeah, he was gonna put up 40.
Like he was gonna go for 50.
Yeah, like he was trying to prove a point to pretty much let them know, like, you know, I'm not chopped liver. Like I'm Anthony freaking Davis. Like I'm an all pro, all NBA talent. Like this is who I am. Like you didn't trade me for nobody. Like, you know, that's what it felt like, and I feel like, you know, he overexerted himself, and you know his body let him down once again. And that's what happened. That's how I feel. I mean, he may or may not have been playing hurt, but I just feel like he just overdid it because he was trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes when you working out, fellas, and you overexert a muscle, like you overexert it in, maybe, I don't know, you see a chick that make you nervous and you go overexert a muscle, Jamar, you like,
no, I'm not nervous, but maybe.
It's a joke, but
no, I know.
You see what I'm saying? Like you overexert a muscle to the point to where you trying to prove a point, and you see all these people in the crowd. You got ABC, NBC, everybody and their mama watching this game to see what happened. Everybody, all eyes on Dallas at that moment. Perhaps it could have been some jitters, Jamar, some jitters that made that muscle overexert, and boom. Already glass, like you say, and the glass breaks easy.
Yeah, no. In all seriousness, like, dude, like the whole crowd was like so hyped when he was going off. Like it was crazy.
Absolutely.
They was so excited. And then
it was electric now.
Dude, how you go from being electric to just a pin drop? And be like, yep. Yeah, we should have known better.
Right. The whole stadium got quiet after he got injured. It was so quiet in that stadium. It got just super quiet.
And yeah, if they can't get healthy, if they can't make a run with this team, you know, in the next 2 years, if they got to start trading off pieces because players getting old and they don't even, you know, make a deep playoff run within this short window here, then dude, Nico Harris, I mean, he it's bad enough he already looked like a lame duck GM, but it's just going to look worse and worse and worse.
Man.
Like, he shouldn't even be in the position that he's in. That's what it feels like right now. Like, what are you doing? Like, I can make better trades on 2K than this.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even get a first. You didn't get a few first-round picks along with the deal if you're going to make that trade. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Trade away a young superstar.
We're going to see, fellas. Now, we're going to see how Luka continues to progress in LA as well. But one thing I do notice about Luka, fellas, is that he's actually defending and he's playing defense now.
Yep.
It's like he's playing defense now, and LeBron has had an effect on him, and he's been doing pretty good on that end. And that's
it's gonna be different in the playoffs for sure. Teams definitely gonna go after him, but he definitely has, picked it up a little bit on defensive end since he's been at LA for sure.
Right, for sure. And I think we all can agree Luka gonna get his points. So I'm curious,
Yes.
fellas. Do you guys think that LA is I know they're a small team. They ain't got much hype. Do you guys think that the Lakers do you think they're a legit NBA Finals start? Or is that selling way too high?
Man, I mean, to be honest, if it will depend on health. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's too far fetched. I'll say this. I wouldn't be shocked if they made to the finals, and I wouldn't be shocked if they lost either. But I mean,
But you right. Okay. So what would it
yeah.
depend on though, bro? What would it depend on? The matchups or
Uh, yeah. Who they play, like the matchup, like certain matchups,
okay.
and help certain matchups and help. But I mean, the way they've been playing as of lately. I mean, besides the other night where they got blew out by the Bucks, but Luca or LeBron
Nobody
didn't
was
play.
playing. Nobody,
Yeah,
LeBron,
yeah,
Rui,
yeah,
Luca,
yeah.
Austin Reeves,
Nobody
nobody
really
played.
played. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I mean, when they was cooking, man, they was doing their thing. It seemed like they got Denver number as of right now. Denver, spanking that ass for the last 2 3 years. So I don't know, man. They went healthy. How they was playing, I would say like 2 weeks ago. It was looking a little scary. Like, man, I don't think nobody. Well, of course, nobody's seeing this coming. Luca coming to the Lakers to play with LeBron. Period. So it's like, man, you know what? You know what the thing is? I don't think people thought that LeBron could play off the ball. You always hear that LeBron needs the ball in his hand. LeBron wants, he needs the ball. He can't play with somebody ball dominant. But
Hmm.
now, we watching it. So, and I think maybe that's the reason why LA, got rid of AD. Maybe they were waiting for AD to kind of be the number one guy per se, so they won't have to, depend on a 40-year-old, which is amazing
Right,
that he's
but
still playing this long and, still producing at a high level. But to depend on a 40-year-old to get you to the finals and to a championship is diabolical. It's a young man's game, in all these sports. So,
mhm.
I just think this is probably what LeBron actually has been won his last couple years in the league. No offense to AD, but
Right.
he can kind of like chill back and play the second fiddle. You don't have to bring the ball up, all the time. He can basically play off the ball. He can spot
Hmm.
up
Hmm.
now when his jumping got better since he got older, so he can spot up now. So a lot of focus is gonna be on Luca a lot of the times, and he can go sit and take a breather, and Luca can rock. He can rock with Rui and all the other guys. So
Right.
I think that's what they've been waiting for. So I won't say it's too far fetched for them to you know take a deep playoff run to win the finals or something like that. I don't know. They
Right.
have to be higher than. But I will
Yeah,
say
that'd
this
be tough
though.
getting past Boston,
I will say this though.
OKC.
I think because the West is a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet every year, and this year is just it's definitely gonna be up for grabs. I'm excited to see that Western Conference playoff, all the series.
Mhm.
But JJ Redick, I think they should finish in the top five. But JJ Redick should be up for Coach of the Year for sure.
Absolutely. I
He's
agree.
doing he's doing an exceptional job for sure.
Absolutely, I agree, bro. Absolutely, I agree. And so, with the Lakers being a top five team right now in the West, a very potent offensive team. Jamar, bro, do you think that the Lakers has the wits, when healthy, to make it out of the West, or at least make a deep? No, I asked NBA Finals. Do you think that they have the wits to make an NBA Finals run?
Well, we've seen a high enough ceiling when a couple of weeks ago to where if they play like that all the time, then yeah, they do have the ceiling for it. But it would depend on their path to the NBA Finals. in my opinion, who's in front of them. Because if they, go against the likes of a OKC at some point, I'm gonna take the OKC.
They score so many points, don't they? They just,
And
man, they are just brilliant offensively, brilliant and defensively.
Yes, that's the part right there. Right. Because like I mentioned, when this trade happened, like Lakers can score, but I don't know if they can defend consistently enough to overcome a real deficit when it comes down to it. Now, I did see them playing, when they first made the trade, like all of a sudden this Lakers team just playing defense. Like, okay. But when the game slows down, when you are playing chess instead of checkers on a night-to-night basis, when you are exposing all the matchups, when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, when it really gets down to the X's and O's and execution, that's when I think things can unravel a little bit. Yeah, like you said, they can get in trouble. But it depends. Like we've been watching NBA playoffs. I would say all of us for at least the last 25 years, like on a conscious level. Like you know what teams are good, what are, and we like over the time we understand that matchups, especially in the Western Conference, in our lifetime, has been predicated on who's going to go to the finals. Matchups mean so much in the NBA playoffs, especially in the Western Conference. So styles matter, coaching matter, health matters, like all that factors in. So yeah, the Lakers, depending on the path, I feel like as long as they don't run into OKC, they got a chance. I think even though they're playing against Denver well now, I think it's more so Denver. Yeah, because I think Denver is like really analyzing and like, okay, if we match up them against the playoffs, it's gonna be a little different here. They're gonna know exactly what to do.
You got to play multiple times.
Yeah, so when they played Denver the first time and Luka was going crazy and they was just beating the doors off of Denver, and Jokic only had 8 points, like he was just being so like passive out there. Like, okay, like I know darn well this was a playoff game. This man's getting the ball a whole bunch of times and killing them and creating foul trouble scenarios. Like, I'm like, okay, but yeah, the Lakers are definitely good enough for sure to get to a Western Conference Finals. It just depends on the path.
Yeah, man.
Because right now they're sitting third in the West. They're a game. Well, actually, they're tied for third in the West with Denver right now. They're a game up on Memphis, so like 3 through 5 is basically within one game. Houston's on a 9-game winning streak, so there's 2 in the West. They're 2 games above them. Golden State continues to climb up. They only 2.5 games behind the Lakers.
That's my next question, fellas. Golden State. So, Golden State has been the second best team in the league outside of OKC, y'all, since Jimmy Butler has arrived in Golden State. Yep. Their defensive prowess is amazing. I don't know if you guys saw the other night the game. It was just really impressive how Steph Curry, he was out. And that's another question, guys. It all depends on his health. But I still think they're a very good team, even without – that's me, y'all. I think they're a really good team even without him because of Jimmy Butler. That's how good he is, y'all.
Yeah.
And so with the Steph Curry, what's the ceiling for this team? I know we just talked about the Lakers, but Ian, you mentioned, bro, the West is a gauntlet.
Yep.
But there can only be about 2 teams in the Western Conference Finals, according to my math. And so, do you guys believe that the Warriors, or would it just depend on matchups? Because I don't know, man. I don't know who really would give them the Warriors much of a problem outside of maybe OKC and maybe it's a few teams. Maybe it could be the Lakers. Maybe it could be the OKC. Maybe it could be I don't know. Maybe it's Houston. I don't know, fellas. Yeah. Y'all break it down for me. Jamar.
I would say
go ahead, Ann. No, Ann, you could go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
Who do you think do you think that the Warriors, what is they ceiling? Do they have an NBA final ceiling as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think when you bring in somebody like, Jimmy Butler, he has Jimmy Butler, he hungry for a championship. And, Steph and, Draymond, like they both stated, man, it's their last run. So, You know, they got championship pedigree. They know what it takes to get there. And like you said, I think it does come in the West, man. It's gonna come down to matchups. I think it comes down to matchups, but they've been playing great. Just just like we talked about the Lakers, they've been playing great as well. And
Hmm.
it's gonna come down to matchups and health. Hopefully, I know Steph got hurt the other night. Um,
Right. Yep. He got hurt the other
so
night against Toronto.
yeah, so Varn health. I think man, they got a real shot as well, man. It just really comes down to who's playing who, and who's healthy, and it's gonna be a tough out in that West, man. I think this probably has the potential to be one of the best Western Conference playoffs we've probably seen. And and to be honest, they've been good the last couple of years. We've seen the emergence of, Anthony Edwards in the playoffs. We've seen Denver dominate, these last couple of years. We've seen the Lakers go to when nobody thought, they was like a seventh or eighth seed. It's like a seventh seed. We've seen them go to the Western Conference Finals, out of nowhere. So, now we got Jimmy Butler with the Warriors, and you know, it's their last run, man. They could shock the world. Then we got you got Houston. You got Houston coming up, a young team. John Moran is back with Memphis, and that young OKC team. We want to see if they can put it all together in the playoffs. So man, that West, bro, is gonna be tough, man. Not saying the East not gonna be as tough as the West, but and that West, bro, is gonna be a straight gauntlet, and it's gonna be exciting. I think it's gonna give us that late '90s, early 2000s basketball feel. I feel like it.
Mm.
You know what? To be honest, I kind of feel like basketball does give us that in the playoffs sometimes. But I think this year in that West, man, it's definitely gonna give us that for sure.
Mm.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they make a run either. We could look up and, man, depending on the matchups, we could see the Warriors and the Lakers play in a series. Luca and Jimmy Butler and LeBron and Steph Curry and Draymond. That'd be a hell of a series, bro. We could look up, they could
Right.
be playing each other. Or we
Right.
could look up, they could be playing each other in the Western Conference Finals. Or, we could see OKC and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. What would that look like? So they definitely got a shot to, um, make a run. I will say Buddy Hield has to start knocking down shots, wide open
Yeah.
shots, because he been building houses. I
Right.
mean, literally
Right.
building houses. So you got to start knocking down shots. But um, yeah, I think so, man. Them two teams, man. They just made some moves that just elevated them, man. So especially the Warriors. The Warriors was on their way to damn near not even making the playoffs.
Right.
So that Jimmy Butler trade has really given them some new life. So
Whole lot of life.
and,
Whole lot
and
of it.
Jimmy hungry, man. He want that chip, man.
He want that
So
chip. Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. So
so
that's how you know they're gonna be a tough out. Him and
yeah, for
Draymond,
sure.
y'all, they menaces on defense, and that's not even to mention Kaminga can hoop, Moody
Yep,
can hoop, Buddy
athletic.
Hield can hoop. They got this center,
Gary
y'all, who
Payton.
shoot. Gary Payton, another dog defensively. Steph Curry, greatest shooter all time. They got
Yep,
a big that can shoot that three. His last name start with a P. He a European cat.
Post.
yep.
Okay, Post. He can let that boy ride. They dangerous. They dangerous for
Yeah,
real.
for sure.
Yeah,
Championship
yeah.
pedigree, great coach. So, in the
Right.
words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
For real, dog. And so, Jamar, just want to quickly, bro, for this West, I want you to make a case really quickly, bro, for OKC. Do you think OKC? Do you think they are a lock to win the West? Because I mean, based off of their records, they got one of the best records all time in the regular season.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, based on our discussion, how we felt, I don't think anything is a lock in the Western Conference. But I feel like it's their conference to lose. I can definitively say that. I mean, they are definitely the best team in that conference this season. They went through some growing pains the last couple of years, especially last year. I mean, they went through heartbreak in that game 6 against the Mavs. Mm-hmm. They should have pushed to a game 7.
Yep.
But neither here nor there. They're back. They reamped. They got some big bodies down there. They ain't leave Chet Holmgren by himself to guard the likes of Jokic and Anthony Davis anymore. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's on a mission. He definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder. I'm pretty sure he felt like he should have won MVP last year. A lot of people felt like he should have won MVP last year. There's no dispute
on this show.
They should, even though Jokic is putting up astronomical numbers once again. But the fact that they're just beating the dog mess out of a lot of people. I mean, they have a plus 13 differential. They won 9 out of the last 10 games. I mean, they average 120 a game, but they lock people down to 107 a game. So it's like, look, they have all the makings of a team to get it done. This is like pre-Boston before Boston got it done. That's what the aura feels like. Like we used to say, Boston is so talented. Boston got everything. They just ain't got it. They just haven't done it. And then they went out there and actually did it. And now we look at Boston a little differently now. We look at Boston as like, can anybody beat this team? Like, I'm not going against Boston in the 7-game series right now. I don't care what the records look like. I'm still taking Boston against the field. That's how I feel because of what they did last year and how good they are still. And so OKC, it feels like it's following that same trajectory. It's like you got all the makings to get this done. I mean, yeah, maybe could they add another scorer, another shooter, whatever, fine. But even without that, they still good enough to come out the West. They're still good enough to, take it all the way. They are good enough. They just, can they actually do it? Go do it. That's where we're at right now. Go do it.
Right. And the really interesting thing, bro, is that you mentioned Boston and their trajectory and just how they were knocking on the door for years and years until they finally knocked down the door. I would really, really heavily look at that, bro. If OKC don't get it done this year, then the only solution for OKC would be for them to go out and get another superstar to help SGA. If they don't get it done this year, fellas. If they don't get it done this year, you got enough cap in OKC. The only thing is OKC is not a Los Angeles. It's not a Miami. It's not a, great destination. Right.
Go get Kevin Durant. Go bring back Kevin Durant.
Right. Like, if you don't get it done this year, OKC, that's the only solution for them at that point is to go in the offseason, go get another great scorer that they can rely on in crunch time to help out SGA. And then from there, I think, boom. Because that's what happened with Boston. They had to go out and get Drew Holiday. They had to go out and get Cap. They had to go get some big names, spend a little bit of money. Because OKC, they don't spend a lot. They doing it in a very amazing way. SGA's taking a lot of that pool right there, but if they don't get it done, we'll see, man. Because right now they looking good, but the playoffs is a different game, and so it's the reason why I don't know if they're gonna come out the West. And so we'll see, though. I could be wrong.
Real quick, like I know Ian said this about 5 to 10 minutes ago, but you really call my boy Buddy Hield a carpenter out there? A mason, man? Like, he out here just laying bricks, laying the foundation for your new house?
Yeah, man. I watched them play like a week ago, and I think it was last Saturday night. Mm-hmm. I know they ended up winning, but it was just like, bro, you wide open. Why you not knocking these shots down? That's what you're here to do, bro. You supposed to be this, this good
you are the three-point champion. He won the 3-point contest, y'all.
Yeah, man. So
I mean, but
come on, man. We need you to knock them down in the playoffs.
I mean, if he's playing that bad and they're winning like this right now,
I'm telling you, what are they selling there, Em? What are they selling there, Em, bro? If he shoot like he shot in a 3-point contest,
the finals.
If he catch hot, in the playoffs, man, you're not gonna want to see them. You're not gonna want to see them at all.
That's why we saying the West is a gauntlet.
Dude, like just think about it. Just real quick, and I'll let you move on. The Warriors, like when they won that last championship against Boston, that was like one of the most magical, one of the most like exhilarating, one of the most like stamp it like concrete, like never debated like champions wins that team could ever have. That's like a cementing part of Steph's legacy. That championship right there, because that team going into the playoffs, we did not see that coming. We did not. And for them to beat Boston the way they did, and Boston was a better team, and they took it down. And this team gives vibes like that because of Jimmy. Like you all mentioned, once that trade happened, it's bad enough that Steph was he's an assassin by himself. He's a dog. He took down Boston. He went into the Garden with less than 6 minutes left in game 4, and changed the trajectory and went night against them fools. That's exactly what happened. And now you got Jimmy Butler.
Them fools.
And you got Jimmy Butler who single-handedly carried the Heat not once but twice to a finals. A Heat team that is currently on a 10-game losing streak.
They was an 8 seed, y'all. 8 seeds.
Twice in the last 5 years in the bubble.
8 seeds.
And they went
through the play-in.
He took that team.
Yeah.
They're gonna be hell to put out. They're gonna be hell to put out. I'm stuck with this West, Jamar. I'm stuck, bro, because LeBron gonna be hell to put out too. When he got a Luka Doncic on his team, he gonna be hell to put out the playoffs. It's gonna take probably the Joker.
Matchup.
Like man.
They don't have to it is coming down to matchup. You don't have to pull these people out the gym for them to lose. Like Jimmy ain't going. Jimmy ain't going. And Draymond right next to him. I ain't going either. So you telling me you got Steph who do Steph things, but also you got playoff Jimmy when he gets going. And then we just mentioned that Buddy Hield started actually shooting 40% behind the arc, started actually hitting threes with those two right there. And then you got the role players, like you mentioned Kuminga already. You mentioned Moody, the post dude. I know nothing about this post dude until maybe a month ago. I'm like, who's this tall 7-footer out here shooting threes and then actually getting a little physical in the paint? And so I'm like, why is he not starting? This dude pretty good too.
Yeah,
and then the Podziemski dude. Yes.
They got some dogs in Golden State.
And then you actually hear Jimmy come out and say, this is the best organization I've ever been a part of. This is the culture. It was so many question marks going into the trade, and all of a sudden, all those was answered. This man, he loves it there. And he's playing like it. And he's playing his game. It's he don't even need the ball on offense to be effective.
Right.
But he'll score when he needs to.
Ain't that crazy? Because we know he can. We know if it matters, he gonna get his.
Yes. And the last thing I would say, the most underrated thing probably about him that they started mentioning on First Take and stuff, I think Stephen A. really started mentioning the fact that he gets to the free throw line so much. It gives Steph Curry so many breaks within the game to where he lasts longer. His stamina, that he don't get worn out as much anymore. And
for sure.
Yeah. Even Ian Screen agrees. He gave a thumbs up.
So yeah, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so the Western Conference NBA top viewers, it's gonna be hella interesting. And we are here for it. We want to see it. And so to everyone, to a couple viewers, support the stream and phone agrees as well. Thumbs up. And so for all, support the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast right there. It's our Venmo. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the views. We appreciate the love and support. For those that might not view, they might not know the quality of the podcast. But for those who have viewed, they know what it is. And so we appreciate your support in advance. We got clothing. And in order for us to continue to do what we need to do, we need you guys' support. And so we appreciate it. And so with that being said, fellas, let's now progress. So, Ian, bro, not curious to you. I'm curious, but I want to know: do you have anything for us this morning that'll just allow us to facilitate and continue this wonderful conversation we've been having this morning? We done talked in a lot of basketball. You got anything for us, bro, for Ann's basement?
Yeah. So I'll ask this question: Is Cooper Flag the best Duke player we've seen in the last 10 years? You got really got so what year is it? This 25, so what from
Yeah.
2015?
Yeah.
Because
I want to
it's a
say
lot of them.
yes.
You got I think you got Jay Tatum, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's within the
Yeah,
last
Jason
10.
Tatum was 2017.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you got Zion in there too.
Zion was 2019, and that's where I'm headed.
I know.
I don't think none of them was better than Zion at Duke. It's hard. I can't know. Cooper's nice, but he wasn't Zion.
I'm officially play devil's advocate. I'm gonna go Flag. I'm gonna go Flag.
Don't go Flag.
I'm gonna go Flag. And I get it. It was between me. It was between him and Zion for me. Now, as far as Zion being the most athletic, like freak of nature that Duke has ever seen, sure, by all means. I mean, hell, he broke out of his shoe in that one game.
Literally.
He was he was a box off of the track. He even had Obama there. I get it.
Yeah.
But no, look, Flag, in my opinion, is on another level. He just is. Like if I'm not mistaken, he leads the team in points, rebounds, assists, steals. I think he leads the team in everything, and he's doing it.
So you think he? Let me ask you this then. So do you think he gonna give us a Carmelo Anthony ride? Gonna take them to the chip, win it all, and go number one?
I mean, y'all saw my bracket on Monday.
Right?
Mic drop.
Yep, I'm rocking with the Flag, man. I mean, y'all saw what my boy did against Team USA last summer. I'm rocking.
Yeah, I think he's a dog, man.
It's cold blooded.
Yeah, I think he a dog, man. I'm excited to see how he finish this NCAA run.
Like for real.
Hopefully he stay healthy. I want him to stay healthy.
That's the thing. Like I like these consistent, number one picks or top 3 picks in the draft. Like for me, it means a lot more if they can like get that championship done before in the draft. It just like you said, the Carmen. I'll always remember that Syracuse run. I will always remember that. Him, McNamara. I will remember that.
Hakeem Ward.
Hakeem Ward. Yeah, with the headband. They a couple of them went to have great NBA careers. A couple of them off that team. Yeah.
Dude, like I will always remember Melo posting up mid-range all the time in that Syracuse with that orange headband. I will remember that. He got it done.
Bucket.
Yeah, that Final Four was even better than the national championship, and the national championship was great against Kansas. Maybe he had beat Kirk Hinrich, y'all. Nick Collison, that team. And that Final Four matchup. That was a nice run, man. But Jamar, I can't allow you, bro, to sit here and say Cooper Flag. No. Zion Williamson, bro. Nobody. In 2015, by the way, it was a nice year. Remember y'all, Jahlil Okafor from Chicago, Whitney Young. Nice. On that team, they had Tyus Jones, y'all remember? They had Plumlee brothers. On that they had a squad. Plumlee, the Jones brothers, Tyus, who went on to have a great NBA career. Mac Jones, his brother, played in the NBA for a while. Y'all remember Grayson Allen? Y'all know who he is right now, Grayson Allen.
Yeah, we know who Grayson Allen is.
Y'all know Justice Winslow, who was at that time big, strong. He was he was right after Jahlil Okafor, I think, for the NBA draft.
He was a lottery pick for the Heat.
Lottery pick, yeah.
Right, for the Heat. And Justin Winslow, he never formed out, but I mean, he was nice too. And so that was a nice team they had, y'all. And that team, I think, did they win a national championship?
No, I think The last time Duke won Natty
think
was
when they played Butler, right?
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
That was the last
they
time.
won.
Okay, that was with the boy Shiner Shire or something like that. Last name was a S, and he played for
He's a
Duke.
coach now. He's a coach now.
Yeah.
Right.
He's from
I think he
Chicago.
was on that team.
Yeah. He's from Northbrook. Yeah.
And Pat Beverly was talking about how much of a dog he was too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How much basketball talent come from Illinois, y'all? A lot. Yeah, a lot, man, a lot. And so, Jamar, back to Zion and Cooper stats.
No, they won in 2015.
They won in 2015, right?
Yeah, they beat Wisconsin.
Okay, that makes sense.
Against
'Cause I'm
Frank
like,
the
I
Tank.
know.
Frank the
Yeah,
Tank
Frank Kaminsky.
Oh my
That's
lord,
squad.
yeah, that was man, yeah, they
Because it was supposed to be Duke and Kentucky. Remember, y'all? Everybody named Mama had Duke and Kentucky that year.
And Kentucky
lost him in the Final Four, Jamar.
And that's when
Frank Kaminsky them shot they lights out.
That's
in the
when
Final
Kentucky
Four. Him and
had,
some other dude.
Yeah, who's on Kentucky?
Cat. They had
Cat was on that team.
Cat on that team. They had
Was it Cat?
Was it Julius Randle?
I think it was the Julius Randle when they had the twins. The Harris.
And they had the twins, the Harris twins.
The
Harrison twins.
Yeah,
They had a great point guard that was drafted in the NBA that year. A great point guard.
Was it Bledsoe? No, that was before.
No, that was
before.
older.
Never mind. Yeah.
So I'm pulling it up right now, y'all.
I forgot about the Harrison. Them Harrison twins was dogs too.
They was, and they went on to have a nice NBA career. Both of them. Literally. Both
I remember. Because Randall was.
Oh wow! So yeah, they had Devin Booker. They had John. Wait,
Devin Booker came off the bench, right?
Yep, came off the bench. The Harrison twins, Tyler Ulis.
I'm seeing a picture, y'all.
Cat.
Tyler.
It looked like to me, Cat.
Willie Cauley-Stein. Yeah.
Willie Cauley-Stein, Baldwin, man.
What was the dude that still played for the Kings, y'all? The light-skinned dude that could shoot the three, a power forward. Light-skinned dude could shoot the three for the Kings. He been playing in the league for years quietly, very quietly. Just a good role player. And he been in Sacramento for the longest. He was on that team too. And he just been in the league for a number of years, very quiet.
Light skin, let me see. 2015.
And so
was Randall on that team or no?
Randall wasn't on that team. He had graduated at that time.
He might have left the year before then.
But Willie Cauley-Stein, yep, you right in Willie Cauley-Stein. He was a first round pick. He right here in the picture. Right. Trey Lyles, y'all. Trey Lyles.
Oh, Trey Lyles.
Very quiet. Very
he went
quiet.
To the Jazz and he played with the Kings too. Yeah, I forgot. You said this is 2015 Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, and he's still with the Kings, y'all.
2014.
He's still with the Kings, but he was drafted with the Jazz. Yeah, and so Trey Lyles, very quiet, but he was on that team. Devin Booker,
Poitras,
Willie Cauley-Stein. So
Trey Lyles. That was a nice team, man. That was they were undefeated until that point, right?
Or they only lost like one game or something like that.
I think they had lost one game at the very end of the season.
Maybe.
The very end of it, but they might have been 32-1. I'm pretty sure they were 32-1 going into the NCAA tournament, or at least the ACC tournament. That's how good they were, and they lost to Frank Kaminsky. Them, everybody and their mom was shocked when that happened. Everybody, but it led to Duke winning that national championship. Because Duke had it easy against Wisconsin. Wisconsin wasn't good enough. But Wisconsin played their hearts out in the Final Four.
Yep.
They had no business, but they made it happen, but they had no business.
They got it done, bro. That shocked the world. I remember watching my TV like with my mouth open, like, what?
They had Kaminsky, and they also had a shooter.
Decker.
Yeah. Sam Decker.
Yeah,
Decker. Sam Decker.
Went to the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken.
And Kaminsky had a nice NBA career. Decker had a decent NBA career. That was all they had on their team, but
that was it.
That was it. But Cooper Flag, he has some nice stats, y'all. 19.4 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game, 2 steals, 1.3 blocks. So that's impressive. It is, it shows you, y'all, that he gonna be a good all around player. He gonna impact the game in so many ways. But Zion, y'all, he had 23 points per game, 68% from the field, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. And so,
of course, he shot 68% for the field. A lot of it was dunks.
Exactly.
No knock, but that's what it is.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man, Zion for me, man, that was one of the most memorable, man. Every time I think of Duke, I immediately go to Zion, and then from there, Cooper Flag, then Jahlil Okafor, Jabari Parker. I even go back to Sean Dockery that played for Julian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go back to so many guys from Duke, man. That's a really good question, because Duke had a lot of talent, dog. Even the last 10 years.
Dude, it makes, if we had, I know we ain't got time today, but if we did an all-time Duke team, who would make it?
Who would make it? Who? Man.
I could come up with a couple off the top. I think I've seen a post like this recently.
But that's tough. You could do it to where it's decade by decade, but who would be the all-time? You have to
pick 12 guys. All-time.
The 12 people, guys, including the starting 5.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
That is tough.
It would be tough to see who's gonna start and who's gonna come off the bench, I think.
Right. Who would you start between Zion and Grant Hill? Or would you put Zion at the 4 and put Grant at the 3?
And then don't forget Elton Brand was on the was a Duke.
Right. Would you put him at center, or would you put him at the 4?
Got Sheldon Williams.
JJ Redick.
JJ. Dude, his era was undisturbed. I would automatically have to start Jay Williams at the point guard though.
Yeah, Jay Williams was a dog. Jay Williams.
Trajan Langdon. Oh man, I could go on, bro.
Yeah.
Tatum did his thing.
Tatum.
Carlos Boozer.
The Boozer. That version of Boozer was cold.
Yeah, Boozer was.
He had a nice NBA career too, Jamar.
He did before. Between Cleveland and Utah, he was nice. He just come here and then it just went all the way off.
Yeah, he was decent with the Bulls.
Dude, when he put on that fake hairline when he started putting on fake hairlines and stuff, it was over.
Yeah,
dude, he came here
and broke the ball.
He broke his freaking toe before he played the first game with a gym bag.
I always want to lay the ball up, bro.
Dunk that.
They gonna put them little dudes in the basket, bro. I watched you since I was a kid at Duke, bro. Come on, man. Don't come to Chicago with that. In the words of my 8th grade teacher, don't come over here with that bull jump.
For real. I used to sit there and get mad, Boozer, you should be dunking this. I'm like, I wish we would have had Chris Bosh instead of Boozer. At least Bosh would have dunked it. Come on.
But that was the difference between us going to the NBA Finals that year. Because remember, Chris Bosh was matched up against Carlos Boozer, but Carlos Boozer couldn't get no rebounds over Chris Bosh, y'all. That's the reason why we lost that series.
He couldn't use it.
And so I understand why you mad, Jamar, because Carlos Boozer was indeed the reason why we did not go to the NBA Finals that year.
Because he was not the same Boozer that we saw in Utah, and definitely not with the same one that was in Cleveland. Because he was super athletic in Cleveland. He was getting it done.
Yeah.
Even the Utah Jazz, Boozer was more polished. What are you doing this? Dude, we got robbed.
Yeah, man, that was a very, very, very interesting, very, very, very interesting time. But this is a very interesting question too, man, because it was so many great players at Duke, man. So many.
I think I would have to put Redick at the 2.
You had to put Redick there because of his sharp shooting.
Dude, when you had opposing like teams in the ACC when he was going on the road, and all they kept chanting was "F you, JJ" all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
JJ might have to start, but
I think he
I
will.
don't know. It depends on what criteria you are, because then you got guys like, man, he was even a dog. You got guys like Austin Rivers. You got Jason Tatum. Uh, man,
So,
dude.
Yeah. And
so
I mean, Bobby
I think
Hurley. He was a leader at that point guard in the
Bobby
'90s.
Hurley. What
Like,
about Christian
yeah,
Leitner, y'all?
yeah, Christian Laettner.
yeah
I'm
Christian
not even a
Leitner,
big
man.
Christian Laettner fan, but he was almost like
yeah
their generation of JJ Redick. But
yeah.
Man,
I
y'all know
think
who
you
is
would
my
have to
favorite
start
though of
Leitner.
all time? No. But
Why
my,
not?
my biggest, okay, yes, you start late at center. Yes, I agree. You start late
Yeah.
at center. But next question is, who the hell do you start at the 3 and the 4? Because remember, you got
Grant Hill.
I think Grant
Zion,
Hill got
you
started
got
at 3.
Grant Hill.
I think
I don't know, man. I probably would start Shane Battier over him. Y'all don't remember
I
Shane
forgot
Battier?
Ooh,
about Shane Battier. Yeah, he was on the national championship
ooh,
team.
yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
was so damn
tough.
efficient. It was crazy. Everywhere he went, he won.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We'll be all
yeah,
day.
for real. So I just know definitively I got to start Williams, Reddick, and Leitner. The other two, the forward spots, I don't know.
It's
I'm
Y'all
gonna
hard,
got
go
man.
Grant, but man, it's hard though.
Is very hard, man. It's very hard because I mean it's so much talent, man. Like with Jaleel Okafor, they could hoop. What about? I mean, I understand we gotta y'all was think, but wait, who's you starting at the point guard again?
Jay Williams.
Yeah, Jay
Man, but I
Williams.
don't know. I got a problem with Jay, y'all, because Kyrie, I feel like he better than him.
But
Way
look,
better.
so how
I
I'm
start
basing out,
Kyrie.
I'm starting
Jay
Jay.
ass coming off the bench.
No, I mean Kyrie only played 7 games with Duke. I'm not doing that.
So what? I don't
Mm-mm,
care.
Yeah, I probably
mm-mm,
would play Jay, but
I don't care,
but
man.
could you
mm-mm.
Like
imagine Jay
Kyrie,
Williams?
dog.
Could you imagine Jay Williams at the point and Kyrie coming off the bench? You bring a
No.
whole another 5 in and Kyrie, Jason
Right.
Tatum, and all of them come off. Man, that'd be nuts. That'd be
They just
Right.
check into the
nuts.
Like,
game like ain't nothing.
That'd be
let me ask
nuts.
y'all, like, who would y'all taking a one-on-one? Kyrie and Jay Williams. I know y'all taking Kyrie.
I mean that's a different
Oh,
game though.
yeah, that's a different game. I mean, you had to take Kyrie, but let's not get it twisted, man. Jay Williams was no slouch.
At all.
He was a
I think
dog.
he
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 was a
was
little
before
mighty
his
mouse.
time. He was before his time. I think
Dude,
a lot of
we
point
was
guards like
robbed in
Jay Williams,
Chicago with him.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that motorcycle accident, man. So sad.
A lot of the point
Dude,
guards back then that could really score. The NBA and college basketball didn't really let them do that because the game was different. It was based on throw it to the post, big man. It wasn't a lot of space, but guys like Jay Williams, if he played like today, like
dude.
he would be like a SGA or somebody. He'd be putting
Yeah.
up numbers. He'd be like a Damian Lillard type of guy.
He
He'd be
was
putting up
that
numbers.
good.
Yeah, he was a dog, man. Like you said, we got robbed of him, man. The motorcycle crash, man. Shout out to Jay though.
Hmm.
Shout out
I
to
remember
Jay
he
for
had his
Right.
he was the youngest rookie, I think at the time, the youngest rookie in NBA history with a triple double. Like it
yeah.
was like game 15 or 16 or something like that. Like he
Yeah, Jay was nice, man. He was nice.
like we wouldn't even
Yep.
have to draft Kirk Heinrich if he didn't
Yep.
get hurt.
Right.
Yeah, and
This is
possibly
factual. It's
possibly
factual.
didn't
This
even
is
have to
factual.
draft Derrick Rose, man. Possibly.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he was that good.
Yep,
Man, Jay
man.
Williams.
Man. So yeah, man, fellas, this is a great damn conversation, man. It's always a pleasure talking sports with y'all. Like, it's really, really good conversation, man. And I wish we could continue. Um, any final thoughts, fellas, as we head into the weekend, man? Any final thoughts or shout outs?
All right, look. So I know the other day I avoided the baseball conversation on purpose.
Right.
I ain't wanna talk White Sox, but all right. So I'm in a better place now mentally. All right. So I think I actually am going to actually watch a couple of White Sox games this year. I think I proved my point last year with that sorry team. I don't think they're going to be as sorry again. They're going to be sorry, but they're not going to be as sorry. But pivot over to the Cubs. So Cubs, from what I keep hearing, they should win the division. They should be that team this year. That's what they should be. But I just found it interesting that they had that Tokyo series that counted to the actual record, and now they're going back to play spring training. Like, that's wild to me. Like, it's cool and all, but that's wild,
man. Like
how do you do? Like, how do you get in game shape, like, you know, in game mode mentally, and then you come back and you back in spring training? Like, what?
I don't know why they did that. That was crazy, but it's just the Cubs. I mean, they big brand, big market. I don't know. Playing against Shohei Ohtani, I guess.
Against the team that it's the Dodgers versus everybody. Dodgers, you know, league to lose again.
Let's go.
It's their World Series to lose again. Absolutely. And they loaded up again in the offseason. And baseball, man, that money talks. And so, yeah, very interesting. And so, Ian, bro, any final thoughts or shout-outs, bro, as we head into the weekend?
No, man, everybody just enjoy this March Madness, man. A lot of basketball, you know, got March Madness going on, man. The ladies, shout out to the ladies, man. The ladies, they've been hooping as well. Ladies, I'm excited to, you know, see how their tournament turn out as well. I can't go against my girl Juju, man. I want to see her get it done for sure.
And bro, thanks for bringing up the ladies, because we don't talk about them enough in NCAA. We don't talk about them enough.
The ladies be hooping. Yeah, man. A lot of basketball coming up. Like I said, the ladies, the men's, NBA playoffs is right around the corner. Yeah, just prepared to watch a lot of meaningful basketball, I should say.
Right. No, it's the meaningful part now. Yeah. And so, well, man, I'm with y'all, man. NCAA tournament. Thanks for bringing up the women's, bro. Juju's. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but you got Paige over in UConn, man. South Carolina felt like they should have been a number 1 seed. Jamar. Don Staley was pissed off. But UCLA, man, taking care of business all season on the women's side. It's really interesting on that side, and it's going to be really interesting. I know Stephen A. Smith picked USC to win it all, so we're going to see who come out on the women's side for sure. So enjoy March Madness. And outside of that, everybody stay safe. Enjoy sports. Enjoy life. Enjoy this day. Today is another day that the Lord has made. Therefore, let us rejoice and be glad in it. And so, on behalf of the Early Morning Sports Talk world, we would just like to say thank you for tuning in with us this morning. Thanks to Corey. Thanks to Offbeat. Thanks to all those who chopped it up with us. Continue to chop it up with us to support our podcast on various platforms. And if you would love to talk sports with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we are here and would love to do so with you. Your love and support is truly appreciated. And we hope you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.